Welcome back. You completed the planning phase by clarifying key details and creating a process map of your workflow. Now we're moving into the exciting part, building your workflow in Asana. In this step, you'll learn how to set up an Asana project to serve as the foundation of your workflow. You'll also add custom fields to help you categorize tasks and for future reporting needs. Remember that deadline-bound workflows usually involve one larger output. For example, the output of a marketing campaign workflow is the launch of the overall campaign. In Asana, you'd use a project to represent the output of the deadline-bound workflow, in this case, the campaign. Sections often represent categories or timeframes, with tasks representing the action items needed to complete the overall output. Deadline-bound workflows often use list or timeline view to show work being completed chronologically. Ongoing processes often involve multiple, smaller outputs. For example, the outputs of a creative request process are the individual requests that are completed. In Asana, you'd use a project to house the overall process, with tasks to represent each individual output that moves through it. In this case, the requests. And you'd use sections to represent the stages that the outputs move through. Ongoing processes might use board view or list view to visualize requests moving through stages. We'll use Alan's answers to the first two key questions to help him set up his workflows in Asana.
Let's see. Our event request workflow is an ongoing process with each request being an output that moves through it. I'll set up a project to house the overall event request workflow. The tasks will represent each request that comes in. I'll add sections to represent each stage: assigned, in review, staffing approval, and completed. Finally, I'll set board view as the default so I can see the requests moving through each stage. For the event planning workflow, which is deadline bound, our league managers will create a project in list view with tasks for all the event prep activities and sections for timeframes leading up to the event.
Great job setting up the foundations of your workflow, Alan. Next, let's consider the custom fields you'll need to categorize, prioritize, and report on your work. Setting these up early will help you track important data in your workflows.
We'll organize event requests by their status: assigned, in review, staffing approval, and completed. This will help us see how many requests are in each stage of the workflow. I'll also add a priority field so we can quickly spot urgent requests.
Great work! Remember to add custom fields for any reporting needs you might have.
In our request project, I'll add custom fields for the league requesting the event and the estimated budget. In our event planning project, I'll add a field for actual cost. This will make our reporting much easier. It'll be nice not having to dig through multiple spreadsheets when we need those numbers.
Great work, Alan. To recap, we learned to create the foundation of a workflow. Use projects, tasks, and sections to represent your workflow outputs, steps, and stages. Choose an appropriate project view, and create custom fields for categorization and reporting. Take a moment to consider, how will you structure your own workflow in Asana with these foundational elements? Up next, you'll explore how to further optimize your workflow using additional Asana features.